Hello and welcome back. Hope you guys had an enjoyable break from English. Hope everybody's doing well. Today is April 13th, 2020, Monday. And we're going to continue with our grammar where we left off, which is lesson 13, coordinating conjunctions, compound subjects, verbs, and direct objects. So, I'm going to play this video for you guys, and then I'll create one more video. And I hope you guys are doing very well. You guys are doing great. So let's start the video.
Welcome back to Get Smart. You are on lesson 13. And in lesson 13, we will be studying coordinating conjunctions, compound subjects, verbs, and direct objects. Before we dive into conjunctions, let's take a moment to do a little relevant review of what you learned in the last lesson. You learned about transitive active verbs and direct objects. You learned that transitive active verbs are verbs that transfer their action to a receiver, and the receiver of the action is called the direct object. You learned that the direct object is a noun or a pronoun that receives the action of a transitive active verb. You also learned the name for the verbs that we have been studying up to this point. So you learned that intransitive complete verbs are verbs that don't transfer their action to anyone or anything. They're complete all by themselves. In lesson 13, we will be studying coordinating conjunctions. And conjunctions are words that join things together. Conjunctions are another one of the parts of speech. And here's the definition. Conjunctions are words that join two or more words, phrases, or clauses. Now, you know what a word is, and we've talked about phrases already. Phrases are groups of words that don't have a subject and a verb. We haven't yet studied clauses, so don't worry about understanding exactly what a clause is. We'll get to that a little later, but you should memorize that as part of the definition of a conjunction. Okay. Let's take a look at the list of the parts of speech and just have a little refresher of everything you've learned about so far. You have learned about nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, and in this lesson, we're learning about conjunctions. Wow. 7 of the parts of speech we've already gone through or are going through. So again, conjunctions join together words, phrases, or clauses. They're joining words. There are 3 different types of conjunctions: coordinating, subordinating, and correlative. In this lesson and in the next few lessons, we're only going to be studying one type of conjunction: coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions can join single words or groups of words, but they always connect elements of the same kind. We'll look at some examples in just 1 second, but before we do that, let's look at what the possible words are that can be coordinating conjunctions. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so are the 7 words that can be coordinating conjunctions. You should memorize these. There are only 7 of them. And it will help you if you remember fanboys. Fanboys is the first letter of each of those 7 coordinating conjunctions, and it just helps you remember what the coordinating conjunctions are. So, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Those are the coordinating conjunctions. Now let's take a look at these coordinating conjunctions in action. Ran and played. The coordinating conjunction and is joining 2 verbs. Kathy or Dan. The coordinating conjunction or is joining 2 nouns. Happily yet seriously. The coordinating conjunction yet is joining 2 adverbs. Into the house or around the shed. The coordinating conjunction or is joining 2 prepositional phrases. And Sarah played the game well, but she lost. The coordinating conjunction but is joining 2 sentences. Now, there were a lot of things going on in those examples. And in this lesson, we are only going to be looking at coordinating conjunctions that join subjects, verbs, and direct objects. Let's take a look. Here's an example of a coordinating conjunction joining two subjects. Cats and dogs run. That sentence has two subjects, and they are joined by the coordinating conjunction and. They both share the verb run. Here is a conjunction joining two verbs. Frogs hop and jump. The coordinating conjunction and is joining the verbs hop and jump. Both of them have the same subject, frogs. And here's an example of a coordinating conjunction joining direct objects. We ate apples and carrots. There, the subject is we, the transitive active verb is ate, and apples and carrots are our direct objects. They're joined with the coordinating conjunction and. We call the elements that the coordinating conjunctions join compound. So if you have two or more subjects, we call that a compound subject. If you have two or more verbs, we call that a compound verb. And if you have two or more direct objects, we call that a compound direct object. Now let's look at how to diagram these. To diagram coordinating conjunctions that are joining subjects, verbs, and direct objects, you put them on a dotted line between the two elements that they're joining. So in the next few diagrams, you're going to see a lot of double lines. And it's almost like we split the line for whatever the compound element is so that we could fit both words in the slot. Here's what I mean. Let's look at this example. This is how you would diagram a compound subject. We have two subjects and the coordinating conjunction is on a dotted vertical line between the two subjects. Then the line comes back together and goes toward the verb. The conjunction is on that line, joining the subjects together. And it's easy to see when you look at the diagram that both of these subjects are sharing the same verb. So the example sentence is cats and dogs run. So cats run and dogs run, but if we do it like this, you don't have to say that two times. Cats run and dogs run. You can just say cats and dogs run. So the subjects are sharing the same verb. Now, some people have told me that they think that this kind of looks like a sideways rocket ship. And if that helps you to remember how to form your diagrams, then you can use that image when you're thinking of your diagrams. In the next example of diagramming compound verbs, our rocket ship kind of changes sides. So here we have the subject on one side, and then our verb line splits off so we can fit both of our verbs. The conjunction goes on a dotted vertical line between the verbs, the things that they're joining. So here's the diagram of frogs hop and jump. In this sentence, the subject, frog, is doing both of those verbs. Frogs hop, frogs jump. If we write it like this, we don't have to write the subject two times. We can just see that the subject is doing both of those verbs. Now, before we diagram compound direct objects, do you remember how to diagram regular direct objects? Here's a diagram. Okay, now you have just learned or seen pictures of how to diagram compound subjects and compound verbs. So before I show you how to diagram compound direct objects, take a moment right now to make an educated guess. What do you think the sentence diagram is going to look like for a compound direct object? Have you made a guess? Okay, here's the picture. Here is how we diagram a compound direct object. Did you have it right? We have the subject and the verb, and then the line splits at the direct object so that we can have both of the direct objects. So the example is we ate apples and carrots. Our direct objects are apples, carrots, and we have both of them on that split line with the coordinating conjunction and going right between them. You can see from our diagram that both of the direct objects have the same subject and the same verb. We ate apples and carrots. So both of those direct objects are getting action from the word ate. All right, it's time for you to diagram your 5 sentences. Now the following 5 sentences will have compound subjects, verbs, or direct objects. Those are the only elements that we're going to be talking about that are compound in these next 5 sentences. So have fun diagramming, and I will see you in the next lesson.
Hey guys, so I'm going to pull up your homework. I'm also going to make sure my mic is working right now. It is working. So, for your homework, due tomorrow, and I'll have the corrections tomorrow. Let's make this a little bigger. And I'll let you, if you want to read all this, you may pause and look through it. Come down here. Feel free to pause and look through that. Again, you can just pause the video if you want to get a better look at this stuff. Okay, so question number 1. The sentence is, Mary and Jenny ran in the rain. So pause the video, write that down, then come down here, pause the video, create your box. On to the next one. My uncle will cook lunch or dinner. Write your sentence. Again, come down here, pause the video. Okay. Number 3. The black cat ran around the corner and loudly meowed. That is your sentence. Here is your box for answers. Continue to number 4. I would like a bike and a snowboard for Christmas. Okay. And number 5. The new teacher will teach grammar or literature. The new teacher will teach grammar or literature. Good. So, do this for your homework. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. I'm going to be sending you another video of your school book work. Okay? So, yep. I guess you guys will take a look at that one soon. Have a wonderful day, you guys. I do miss teaching you in class.